Well, a good day to you all, and you join me here on my double-decker bus. Now, I thought I'd talk today about what is the best bus route in London, or actually what is my favourite route in London. Well, I'll tell you. I just made a few notes like I usually do. In fact, I googled it, actually, the favourite bus route in London, and 3 bus routes came up. So, in total, there's 3 bus routes in London. That's actually on Google, if you actually Google it. The top 3 London bus routes, I think it's sightseeing. I think these are actually sightseeing routes. The top 3 London sightseeing routes are, and the first one that comes up is Route 24, which goes from Pimlico to Hampstead Heath. And that is, Pimlico is just north of the Thames, and obviously Hampstead Heath, as far as I know, Hampstead Heath's North London, isn't it? Is it North West London? The second route that came up was Route 11, which is from Fulham, that's West London, Fulham to Liverpool Street, which obviously is in like the centre of London. The third route was Route 9, which is Aldwych to Hammersmith. Aldwych is just on the north side as well. Hammersmith is West London. Now, it said the first route in London was Route 24 in 1910. And it originally went from Victoria, started at Victoria and finished at Hampstead Heath. But 2 years later, in 1912, they changed it to Pimlico. So for the last, 111 years, Route 24 has been travelling between Pimlico and Hampstead Heath. And I'm not sure if Route 24 was under threat. I know that I think when TfL said that they were going to change some routes, I'm not sure if Route 24 was going to go. Actually, and even Route 16, there's quite a lot of routes. Route 12, I remember it was 12, 16, 24, quite a few of the big routes were actually going. I'm not sure if Route 11 as well. Maybe Route 9, I don't know actually, let me know in the comments section. But I know some routes were under threat around about 6-7 months ago. I'd like all of you to add what is your favourite route in London. What's your favourite bus route in London and why? Now I'm going to give you what my favourite bus route is in London. In fact, favourite bus route to drive is different from maybe a passenger travelling on a bus. There might be a lovely route for passengers, but it might be very stressful for the bus driver. Now I'll tell you what my favourite bus route is. Amazingly, there is a waiting list for it. But amazingly, I didn't have to wait long at all. Now, if you consider the fact that when I started driving buses up in Huddersfield, there was a long waiting list for whatever rota you had to go on. I can remember there was the Colne Valley rota, the Home Valley rota, the Bradford Halifax rota. I think there was the Linley rota, they called that track. Obviously there was the minibus rota, which I was on for just over a year. Not many big buses on there, I remember. I remember the minibuses were very underpowered actually. I quite liked a bus with power, you know, even if it was an old bus, as long as it had power to get up those hills in Huddersfield and Halifax, Bradford and all that. Yeah, those were the days. I remember there was a waiting list. Well, there still is, but I know I never really got on a rota that I wanted. I think I wouldn't have minded Halifax, Bradford, but I never got on it in all the years that I was there, unfortunately. But in London, I managed to get on the best route without realising it. I'll give you a clue. Oh, no, I haven't just opened the door. That's right, I haven't just opened the door randomly. My favourite bus route in London is none other than my route, which I've been on for 10 years. In fact, when I was first put on this route, I was a bit annoyed because no one asked me to go on the route. They just put me on the route. Now, before we went from Dulwich to Clerkenwell, we actually went to Aldgate bus station, which we don't go to anymore. But strangely, it's still on the destination blind. Let's get it back to where it should be. That's better. In fact, that's where I am now, so let's go to my actual destination, which is still the same place where I've always done these videos, Dulwich Library. And you probably remember the videos when we had the brand new buses. Well, these are now nearly 7 years old. Yeah, these Enviros, Alexander Enviros, ADLs are getting a bit old now. Even though they are still hybrid cleaner air for London buses. This one obviously weighs 11.665 tonnes. But we are getting brand new electric buses on the route later in 2023. So these old Enviros, well, newish still, these newish Enviros, Gemini, Volvo Wrights and Volvo Evo SETI MCVs, they probably will be going, and we're just going to be, well, I don't want to say the word stuck, sorry. We're going to have electric buses. I'm hoping we get different types, because I do like to have a variety of buses on the one route. So that's right, my favourite route is the one that I've been doing all these years. That bus has done, my bus, sorry, has done 185,000 miles. Wow, that's still a lot of miles the last 6.5 years. And these Enviros are still in good nick. I'm going to be honest with you, they're still in good condition. I remember filming the 2018 plate Enviros when they came. We had slightly different Enviros. I can remember to open the front and back door, the buttons on the dash were the other way round, I remember. So I still can get confused, because you can open the back door when it's actually the front door and you don't want to close the door in someone's face. Anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. Right, so obviously we used to go to Aldgate. I still drive through there on another route between East Dulwich and Liverpool Street actually. So it's nice to see Aldgate, but we don't go down Fenchurch Street anymore. In fact, no buses go down Fenchurch Street anymore, but I used to like driving down there and see the walkie-talkie building. That's the skyscraper that goes out. It's like it starts narrow and it goes wider. In fact, I think it created a vortex of wind, like a funnel near the bottom. Actually, there were some quite dangerous things with that skyscraper. I think they had to put some things on one side of the building because it was setting fire to, was it a barber's carpet? And I think, was it an old, a newish Jaguar, I think, was melting or something. That was crazy back in 2016 and 17. But I've actually really enjoyed driving in London. It's been coming up to, yeah, it's 10.5 years now. Exactly 10.5 years is what I did up north. So I've done nearly 21 years. And in that time, I'd say my best times driving a bus have been in London. I'm still not bored here. There's so much to see in London. And it has been nice to have added more bus routes to my knowledge of bus routes in London. In fact, I probably drive around 25 routes. I can drive about 25 routes, I think. But anyway, I just thought I'd make a note. Here we are at Clerkenwell Green. It's nice and quiet here, quieter than Aldgate. There is no toilet facilities here, unfortunately. The pubs and whatever don't seem to let us in. So TFL, if you're watching, it would be nice to have a toilet at Clerkenwell Green, if possible. And yeah, sadly my route doesn't go over London Bridge anymore. But I still drive another bus over London Bridge. That's Clapham Junction to Shoreditch. So it's nice to see my old route via two other routes which go over Tower Bridge and London Bridge. And one passes Aldgate and the other one obviously goes over London Bridge and through Borough, which is nice. And it is nice to go to Clerkenwell Green because Route 63, operated by Bellio, does take the majority of passengers. So my bus is kind of quiet coming to Clerkenwell. Route 63 is rammed, and you might remember that bus that's got the new electric, I think they've got the new electric EVs, ADL, BYD they're called, Build Your Dreams. So as you know, my route has a waiting list. Just made these notes here, I'm getting through my notes. Just help me to keep focused. I'm going to be out in a few minutes, so I'll have to go and drive my bus. Yeah, there was a waiting list in Huddersfield. I couldn't get on that, but in London they put me on straight away. I remember Andrew had put me on the route, and I said, please take me off. I had to put a memo in. And after 2 days on this route, I said, no, don't take me off the route. I love it. I didn't know it was the best route in the garage. Well, some drivers say that, some don't. Some find it a bit boring. Only takes not even an hour to get from one terminus to another, but other bus routes can take an hour and a half, maybe more, and you have less time at the terminus. And it's nice for me to have some time to do these videos at the terminus after I've checked my bus. And that's helped me to be able to do videos all these years for you all. And if I was the first bus driver on YouTube, well, someone has to do it. Maybe I'm a pioneer there. One thing I do like about my route is that there's plenty of time to do the route. Some routes you feel like you're rushing around, and that alone really helps because I don't have to rush, and we shouldn't rush anyway because it's not professional, but it's just nice that we can take it easy, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of taxis around here. What's going on today? Anyway, it's not too busy. There's plenty of time. I don't feel like you have to catch your time up en route. You do have to hold back, regulate the service. And even at the terminus, it's a quiet terminus as well. It's nice and quiet. I love it. Nice and peaceful as I'm getting older, you know. So I like the fact that it's got a quiet terminus. It's not too busy, not many passengers. There's a lot of other routes that help in between, so you don't feel like your bus is the only one rammed that everyone's waiting to get on, you know. So there's something about this route I really love. It's amazing. And you probably know what route it is already. I don't need to tell you, but a lot of you do. So it's the number above my 39th birthday video, if that gives you a clue. And that's my favourite bus route in London, even though it might not be for everyone. For me it is, and I've enjoyed the whole 10.5 years on it. And I'll still drive buses on this route because I love it, and it's where I started my YouTube channel, Doubledeckeranton. Well, anyway, that's all, everybody. I'd like to say big hello to you all in 2023. As always, don't forget to like and share and subscribe to Doubledeckeranton, and I'll see you all on another video very, very soon. See you later. Bye-bye.